The station that saves you money. Lots of money. The next KCJJ radio auction happens this Friday morning beginning at 6.
Good morning to you. It is 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. HawkFanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and his staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for cars. Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip. GT Car, his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Ox Yoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, not only remodeling but also plumbing. And Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
Yes, indeed. We're here. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Wait, was something missing there?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah. Mr. Harty, I bid you a fond good day, sir.
Good morning, all.
How's things in Hawkeye land?
Yeah.
On hold, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, we had Phil Parker yesterday.
Yeah.
For about 10 minutes. No major news. I didn't expect there to be any. He talked about his injury. Find it ironic the way he played football. He never had surgery for a football injury, but now as a coach, he has major surgery on his shoulder, and he suffered he said it was no big deal, but he tore his labrum, his bicep, and and he wasn't wearing a sling when he did the interview yesterday, but he still has to wear the sling like out in practice for at least another 6 weeks. Although he said he would like to negotiate that. So, but yeah, he
How did the injury happen?
He got hit, ran over at practice.
Oh,
yeah, and he said it was just a freak accident, bad angle, and just stuff like that can happen. And you just got to move on, which he will do. It's not in. He's downplaying it. It's really not impacting his ability to coach or anything, obviously. So, but it was nice they made him available since he wasn't available at Media Day because that was 2 days after his surgery. And then at 10 o'clock today, we'll have Noah Kent is scheduled to call in, the 19-year-old Iowa golfing phenom who took the golf world by storm by qualifying for the Masters and the U.S. Open with his performance at what was that thing? It's up in Chaska.
Hazeltine?
Yeah, up in Chaska, Minnesota.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've got a lot of information here that Iowa has sent me about Noah.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest golf courses around. I mean,
Noah is 19 years old, and his hometown is Naples, Florida. He is studying a degree in sports recreation management. On his U.S. amateur debut, Kent reached the final and earned exemptions to the U.S. Open and the Masters. Kent finished second at the 2024 Porter Cup, a tournament that the likes of Tiger Woods, Bryson DeChambeau, and Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka have all competed. Growing up, Kent had plans to play ice hockey before a meeting with Roy McIlroy as a 13-year-old in 2017 led him to choosing golf instead. His swing coach is Claude Harmon III. Headed into the 2024 amateur, Kent was the world number 560th ranked player, and he beat the guy who was ranked 10th.
So is Claude Harmon, is that Butch Harmon's
I
kid?
couldn't tell you. Kent's stepdad, Dana Fry, was part of the design team at Erin Hills. As a 9-year-old playing in a casual round with his stepdad at Caloosa Pines, Kent ended up having a chipping contest with 6-time PGA winner Rocco Mediate. Managed to shoot a career low of 63, which is tied for second in the lowest 18-hole score in history. So, no, this is a fun story. I look forward to the interview. I saw him on the Big Ten Network. Saw him on the Big Ten Network yesterday, and I know Mike Halas is interviewing him later today, and he deserves the attention. So
yes, he does.
Appreciate Iowa arranging this thing. So, yeah, he's supposed to be calling in around 10 o'clock.
Well, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be.
Because that's a heck of a performance.
Yeah, it really is. He was on fire. But now, with that will come expectations now. He's going to
yeah,
I'm not saying he's going to have a target on his back, but people are going to expect him to continue to perform at a level close to this, and that's not going to be easy because that's a very high level he's performing at.
Well, it'll be fun to talk to him, and, yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, but in this Phil Parker yesterday, he said there's a lot of competition at cornerback between John Nestor, Deshaun Lee, and T.J. Hall. I mean, obviously Jamari Harris has got the one side nailed down. I think Nestor will probably get the first, either Nestor or Hall, but I think they're going to play several 2 or 3 cornerbacks, and I think they're looking pretty. I know they would love to have Cooper DeJean back. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're okay. I think between those 3 and then the experience of Jamari Harris, I think they'll be just fine in the secondary this year. I think they're going to have one of the best secondaries in the country, barring injury.
Well, we don't have long to wait now.
No,
down to
week and a
10
half.
days.
Week and a half.
That's hard to believe.
But yeah, I haven't even seen. Can we forecast weather that far ahead?
Maybe if it's the actual 10-day mark, maybe.
God, I hope it's like
If it's
today.
11, I don't think so.
Today's going to be perfect.
It only goes to a week from today.
But what's it say for temperatures?
90.
Well, it won't matter for me. It'll be for people like Suter, who are 9 hours out in the sun, just
Yeah,
sweating.
Sunday it turns hot. So
Okay, so
You figured that. I mean, today's going to be perfect. I mean, it's going to be. I had the sunroof down driving in, and I had to close it because it was cold. I got cold driving in.
a week from Friday, it's supposed to be 84 degrees with a low of 64, mostly
that's
sunny.
That's bearable. I guess it'll depend on the dew point and the humidity. But
Yeah, it won't.
it's not going to be like today.
No.
So take advantage of today,
No,
man.
it's
I'm
62.
gonna mow the yard. I'm gonna do stuff outside today. I'm gonna. I mean, it's
going to get up to 75 today.
for the high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
The dew point is expected to be 61 or 62 on Friday, for a week from Friday.
That's not horrible, but it's going to be a little more unpleasant than. But no, we've had much worse for season openers. Much worse. So, man, like I said, this weather the last couple of days has just been incredible.
No, we've had a pretty decent summer.
All summer, yeah. We've avoided major storms, 8 miles north, 6 miles south. We've had a lot of that, but we've been pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
And finally, the Rochester First Avenue intersection is partially open. You can turn right on First Avenue now from Rochester for the first time in a long time.
You've seen how much damage it's done to that road that takes you from Rochester to First Avenue, right by the dental office. I took a photo of it. It's like a giant sinkhole.
Yeah,
it is. It looks like a bomb went off.
It does look like a bomb went off.
It's
awful. I took a picture of it the other day, and I said and Ray says it's just from so many cars going. That road's not used to
and
trucks
buses.
It wasn't built for that.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, it's. You got to be careful driving around there.
No, it just wasn't built for that.
So at least a portion of that traffic that's had to go through that parking lot isn't going to have to.
When did they open it up?
Today.
When does the stuff by?
It was just there.
Yeah.
Well, the stuff on Sam's on Gilbert or Riverside.
Sam's is on Gilbert
When
Street.
is that stuff going to get done?
I don't know.
Because I don't even like to drive by.
I think it's supposed to be done in our early part of October.
God, I would hope so.
For some reason, it takes forever to redo bridges. And that's the bridge over the creek, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any engineering brains.
Well,
so.
there's nothing under it. Whereas you can pave something, or you got to build it up because there's nothing under it. I would assume. I'm not.
Are you an asphalt bridge construction expert?
Really not.
That's not going to stop you, though,
I would
is it?
just assume. No, why would it?
No, I know. Just tell us what it
I'm
is.
on the radio.
Rip the people in charge of all that stuff.
No, I'm
Say
not.
they have no idea
No,
what they're talking about.
I am not.
And you'll be out there after the
No.
show to help them.
I will not. They do a hell of a job.
They do.
And that's dangerous.
I mean, it does. But that Rochester stuff has taken a long time.
It's taken and I get that they're changing all the infrastructure around and burying stuff that was above ground. I get that it takes a lot of time, but man, living right there, it's been a hassle.
Yeah.
Be honest with you.
Think about the businesses.
Oh yeah.
Think about poor Ray.
Well, here's how it's taken. It's going to take a month to get our bathroom done with the walk-in shower. It's been 2 weeks. It'll take another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's a lot simpler. That's a lot simpler than a bridge.
Is that Jimmy
I would
Streets?
think.
No, Jimmy does our plumbing though.
Oh.
That's a GT car.
Oh, okay.
And GT does a great job.
Jimmy does everything
And
for
so
me.
does Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy does everything for me.
Yeah, they do. Well,
Plumbing and all my
and
construction.
I use Jimmy. I like Jimmy. He's a personal
he does
friend.
good. He does good work. Very
Yes, he
punctual.
does.
Yeah.
Prices are very fair.
GT car has been with us since who knows when. So,
I mean, the prices.
Since he was a pup.
well, and I, before Jan, I dated his mother for 2.5 years.
Oh.
So
Wow.
2.5 years. Wow.
2.5 years.
Smooth operator.
Yeah, I was.
That song, was that Sade? That the song in the background when you're working your magic?
It's my magic.
There you go. I went to McDonald's. Hadn't been to McDonald's. I had a craving for a McDonald's sausage McMuffin with egg. I haven't had one for a while. And I go there and I go up to the window and she's like, "Okay, that'll be $8.43." I'm like, $8.43
for one biscuit?
I'm like, "I just ordered one." She's like, "No, you ordered two." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I ordered one." "No." I'm like, "Yes, yes. I'm here by myself. I ordered one." And then she does this to me. And I was going to say something, but she was young, didn't speak very good. I'm like, "Just relax." And she had to void. I could tell she was pissed because she had to void it out. So then I get up to the front window. And they're all confused. I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Well, you just paid for one, but you ordered two." I'm like, "I didn't." I'm like, "Come on, guys. This is pretty simple. I didn't order two. I ordered one." So they took one out of the bag, and then they disappeared for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" Then they finally came out and reluctantly gave me the one, and then I just drove off. Why would I order two? I mean, it's bad enough eating one of them. It's funny. I looked up the calories on one of those. It's anywhere from 380 to 450, depending on what link you look at. It had 3 different. One of them said 383. Another said like 390. Another said 455.
Well, they're not huge.
They're not huge, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I just was really hungry, and I probably won't eat lunch because I got stuff going on. But no, it was good. But I just thought she just insisted that I ordered two.
Our neighbor Anita, who's the greatest freaking neighbor we've ever had in the world, she brought over tenderloins from Hy-Vee for us yesterday. We had dinner. She brought them over for dinner.
You mean fried tenderloins?
Huh?
You mean
tenderloin
beef tenderloin?
sandwiches or beef tenderloin?
Tenderloin sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
They're so freaking huge. I got 3/4 of
Oh, they're big.
They are.
They're big.
Yeah.
But they're. I was going to say beef tenderloin. She would have spent almost $100 for. And those they're like $39 a pound, something like that.
Last I saw was 35, but it was heading in that direction.
I have not had beef tenderloin. Every once in a while, I would get beef tenderloin back when it was 15, 16. But I'm not going to spend
$35 for a pound of meat. No.
Well, I wouldn't get a pound, but you'd get a little tiny bit and still be spending 20 and still be hungry.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the last time I had beef tenderloin. It's just I can't afford it. Biden.
Yeah.
I blame Biden.
Bidenomics.
Let's go, Brandon.
Biden, let's go, Dark Brandon.
Last night I watched the thing on CBS that started at 9 o'clock because they actually have people that are journalists. They're not Republicans or Democrats. And so that all that crap is done where they argue back and forth. It was fun. Michelle Obama.
I watched her in Brock.
I think she's great.
She was absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, no, it was. I didn't watch it all. It gets boring after a while. It's funny though. Jason Isbell's just getting ripped on Twitter. Cancel. I guess a lot of his listeners didn't realize he was liberal. Now I'm done with him. He's dead to me.
I don't even.
He's a
guitar player.
He's a guitar player, country guitar. Yeah, and I guess I didn't know anything about him. I don't care. I don't care.
He's a great songwriter.
I don't care what musicians' political stuff is.
Well, yeah. Why would you care?
I don't care.
I mean,
I don't listen to Kid Rock because he's Republican. I don't listen to him because his music sucks. In my opinion, I
concur.
Yeah,
completely.
I think I saw him at Daytona, and. Number one, you can't do a concert at Daytona. It would always. I don't care if you got, the greatest opera singer in the world that sound like us. But he just is. I don't know. He's just dirty.
If I liked his music, I'd listen to it. I don't care what his.
I mean, he's dirty like he's.
What do you mean, like he hadn't showered?
Unbathed, yeah.
Oh, I think that's part of his shtick, isn't it?
I don't know.
Kind of that dirty, rough look.
I don't like it.
From the rich kid from Detroit.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Aren't his parents? Like
they're loaded.
He grew up on an estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'll give him credit. He's done. He made a lot of money for himself.
He sure has.
On his own. His own. You got to give him credit.
Give him credit for that. But
these conventions though are too long. Is there still 2 more days of this nonsense?
Yeah.
God.
Why are they so long?
It's just.
I mean, I understand back in the day when you were trying to figure out who was going to be your nominee, and there was all sorts of
because
backroom.
These people are vying for positions later on. Like Andy Brashear has to talk, and this one has to talk, and everything.
It gets to be a little too much.
It's like a convention. Well, it
is a convention.
Yeah.
It is a convention. That's what it is.
Jesus. I've had a bad week.
And then tonight's Tim Walls' big speech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
did you? The cutest damn thing. His kids are behind him. Either yesterday or the day before, and they're giving him the bunny ears.
I saw that.
Well, he's on TV.
Did you see the one with Trump yesterday saying you can't even cross the street anymore to get a loaf of bread without getting murdered or raped?
Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
I actually kind of giggled at that. He said it in such a somber tone.
Yeah.
But all right, back to the Hawks. As far as I'm trying to think if Phil said. I mean, the funny thing, and I get the reporter who was trying. I mean, our obsession with the quarterbacks. One of the reporters like, "Yeah, Phil, can you tell us which one between Cade and Brendan's giving the defense the most trouble?" And Phil's like, all quarterbacks give us trouble. He wasn't going to take the bait on that because they're trying to figure out a way. I still am stinking with my McNamara will start the season opener. I'm still standing by that. I've heard nothing to suggest that he won't. I think Kirk's quotes on the Big Ten Network last week, to me, affirm that even more, that they're going to – I don't think Cade's going to lose the job in preseason practice. I think they're going to give him a chance. They've invested 2 years of NIL money in him, and I think they're going to give him a chance to lose the job on the field in prime time. That's what I think is going to happen, and we'll see. But I did say, like I said, if he comes out and he's terrible in that first half, and let's say it's 7-3, Illinois State's leading, I could see Brendan Sullivan starting the second half, whereas last year they wouldn't have done that. Brendan Sullivan's better than Deacon Hill. So I think Cade's leash is going to be a lot shorter, but I do think they're going to give him a chance to win this job on the field.
Well, and we'll see. He's shown that he can play at a high level, and he's shown that he can play at a not so high level.
Yeah, he's shown that he can play at a high level with a
Michigan
really,
players.
really, really good team. Best offensive line in the country, 3 NFL running backs, receivers, great tight, just loaded. So he does not have that much talent at Iowa, but he still has some pretty decent talent at Iowa. The receiver core, yes, that one's but he's got good tight ends. I mean, the linemen, if they're not at least adequate by now, they're never going to be adequate because most of them are done after this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully the line can take a step up, and Cade can kind of feed off that. And if they can run the ball consistently, that's going to make it a lot easier for Cade and who's ever playing quarterback.
Well, and as you said, the running game looked pretty solid the other day.
Yeah.
And we got at least 3 guys that can carry the rock.
I think they got at least 5. I think they got at least 5 that can help them at running back. I think the 3 that we know, Jazion, Patterson, who now supposedly is 4th team. But I mean, it starts with LaShawn, then you got Caleb Johnson, now you got Kamari Moulton, Jazion Patterson, and Terrell Washington. I think all 5 of those guys. And I liked what I saw from Xavier Williams at the Kids Day practice, the freshman from Indiana, and Brevin Dahl is probably the fastest of all of them. He's a 100-meter state champ from Iowa here. He's probably the fastest of all of them. So if his speed is something they need to get on the field, I think you're going to see Brevin Dahl maybe used in other ways than just being a running back. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm really impressed with what they have at running back.
Well, it's going to be fun to see, and the speculation will it won't cease in 10 days. It'll probably ramp up because, we'll see at least 3 running backs, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
At least?
I think we'll see at least 3. And I think we'll see a couple of them maybe in different – I could see Terrell Washington playing both positions. I could see them putting him out in the slot, maybe see him playing some running back, catching balls out of the backfield. But I think when it comes to just the grinders between the tackles, that's going to mostly be LaShawn and Caleb. And I think Kamari and Terrell – they can use those guys. Yeah, they're going to run them some through the tackles, but I also think they're going to use them in different ways to get them out in space. But they still need that power running back to give them those yards between the tackles. And I mentioned I've got 3 of my 5 picked for my 5 most underrated Hawkeyes since 1970. I'm not going to share them on the radio.
Yeah.
That'll destroy the drama and the build-up for when I release this major breaking news on Hawk Fanatic. But I've got 3 of the 5. I just was discussing it with Don Patterson. Gave me some good suggestions yesterday. And so I'm going to hopefully release that sometime, probably sometime this weekend. I got to come up with another 2, and it's not easy. And but no, I got 3 of the 5 down, and I guarantee my huge adoring fans on Twitter will agree with all of them. I don't think I'll get any resistance. I don't think I'll get any snark. I don't think I'll get any mean comments. No, I think it'll be, Pat, you are spot on with this, as usual. You're my favorite Hawkeye writer. I think I'll get a lot of stuff like that.
Pat, thank you so much for your perspective.
It's just never wrong. You're the best. Don't you think I'll get a lot of that?
A lot.
A lot of that. Can you sense the sarcasm? My adoring fans.
Let's see what else. Carter Kingsbury on scholarship.
Actually, I reached out to Chris, hoping him.
That's cool.
I'm hoping I reached out to Chris and said when he had some time, if you want to text me, I didn't want to bother calling him out, but if you want to text me what this means to you, I think it's really neat. And one thing, Carter's a good kid, and you can tell his teammates really like him. And every time I see him, he's highly respectful, and he's just a good kid. And you could see the reaction in practice when they broke the news to him. They showed Iowa tweeted some photos, and it meant as much to Peyton. You could see Peyton Sanford. It looked like it meant as much to Peyton as it did to Carter, and that's cool.
Yeah,
he's a good kid. He's a good kid. And I know his dad had some issues here, but I loved Chris. Chris was one of my favorites. Chris was one of my favorites to interview, and I'll tell you, he never ever made excuses. And I remember one time we came out. So, Chris, your thoughts on the game? We'll start. First off, I sucked. I mean, that's how he was. Yeah. He never made excuses and what have you. So I think this is a cool story, and I commend Fran for honoring a kid. I mean, like Fran said, he earned it.
Yeah.
He earned it. And it's just for 1 year, but 1 year out of state, that's $50,000. It's a lot of money.
His dad would hang around with Anthony.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
But he, where were they, like at bars?
Yeah.
Did Anthony go to a lot of the bars with college kids?
No, it's just him. They were friends. I mean, they hit it off right away.
But so he would hang out at bars with Chris when he was in college? That's kind of creepy.
He wasn't creeping on people.
But wasn't he like a 40, 50-year-old man?
Yeah, but
that's
it wasn't
creepy. I don't care what he said.
Creeping on people. You could go into bars. I go into Mickey's. I go into Bojangles.
I guarantee if I hung out with Iowa athletes playing pool at a bar, you guys would call me out, and I'd be called out for being Creep City.
That's different.
Why?
Well, we like to call you out.
But no, I mean, I just find that creepy.
Well, he's gone now.
I know he is.
So, yeah.
He's
up there looking down at you saying, I'll
judging.
Fix you.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Kingsbury was an expert at logo threes, I'll tell you that.
Yes, he was.
He was so much fun.
Yes, he was.
It was very exciting to watch him play.
Remember when he had 8 against Drake? I think it was against Drake. Yeah, he was Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark in some ways.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he injured his ankle, and he was never. Because Chris was very athletic in high school, but I think that ankle injury kind of prevented him from using his athleticism in college. But no, he was fun, but he was also his own worst enemy. He admitted he didn't focus all the time, and he had some issues and what have you. But still, for 3 years, he was fun to watch.
Amen.
He was, and he was a big dude. I mean, Chris was big.
Yeah.
He loved playing pool. He liked having a good time. Chris would have been the kind of guy that would have fit in with my friends in college, even if he didn't play basketball. I mean, he could adjust to a lot of different people. Because I know a lot of people, I've heard stories, I played pool with Kingsbury. We used to shoot pool with King. He loved the cue.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of friends of people that I knew, because that was 30 years ago, they used to shoot pool with him all the time because he loved playing pool. That was one of his things he liked doing. But no, I'm just really happy for him and Carter and what have you. But, I mean, to think $40,000 for out-of-state tuition, that's significant.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I mean, I got a buddy of mine who's paying for his kid to go out of state right now, and he told me it's going to cost, close to $200,000 for him to put him through here for 4 years. And that's a lot of money.
It sure is.
Kids cost a lot of money.
They do.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. We made it through that phase.
And you only have 2,
right?
And you only have 1. So you guys, I got friends with 4 and 5, and it's expensive. Yeah. I hear them bitch about it, but I never hear them say they regret having kids.
No,
they just
regret at all.
People,
they just regret having to pay for them.
By the way, Friday we got an auction. Our website is down. It's going to be down. They said 24 hours to 48 hours, so at 11 o'clock this morning it would be 24.
Is this all because of Google?
Yes. This is all because we took the ads off. They had to reroute us, and when you get rerouted, they say in order for it to hit all the. Now, some people can see it, and I can see it at home. I can't see it out here.
Yeah, mine doesn't work.
I don't understand how it. I don't understand it, but at home I can get it on my phone. Here I can't.
It should be fixed by your auction, though, shouldn't it?
It'll be fixed by them. But what I'm saying is, can you post the auction stuff on Facebook?
You mean the link?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, just post. Well, if you go, you can't go to the link. You gotta. Just,
you mean, am I going to sit there and type out all the businesses?
No, can you get? Do you have a thing where you've got all the businesses before you post on anything?
I'm not understanding it all.
If you laid it out before you posted on the website, do you have like a list that you just go down? Or
no?
Okay, well then forget it. But anyway, yeah, if it doesn't come back, or if you're one of the people that can't, there's people in the chat room. People are getting in, but if you're one of the ones that not just listen Friday,
yeah, I don't understand why it's. Because yesterday I was able to get it for a time, and
you might be able, well, yesterday, yeah, for a time you could get it, then you couldn't get it, and I don't know. They said 24 to 48 hours, and I've told Tommy, I've been on the phone with them for 4 freaking days. I've had it, so and now Tommy's taken it, and Tommy knows a lot more about this crap than I do.
Yeah, Tommy's not bad technically. He's got some.
Yeah.
He's got some hops.
But I did hear the last conversation I had with him as somebody in the background, another call person was saying, please don't raise your voice at me. And I knew exactly where they're coming from. But anyway, so the auction will be on Friday. We won't be here. We'll be here Friday.
I won't be here. Got a Friday off. The last Friday before the football grind starts, and I've got it off.
And that's good.
I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah. I'm going to wake up Friday morning and not have to do anything. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
I won't have to come in here. But we'll be back here Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And then I did talk to Don. Don's going to be on Monday. He's working on his analytics for Illinois State. He told me an interesting story that he's going to go into detail about Monday. Brock Speck, the Illinois State head coach, used to be the Purdue defensive coordinator. Yep. He's from Rockford, Illinois, and Don says that when they got here, heading into the 79 season, he was the first recruit that they made a group effort to go after, meaning they sent multiple coaches from the staff to try to recruit him out of Rockford, Illinois. He ended up going to Purdue, and I guess later on Don said he saw his mom, and she said his mom told him that was the biggest mistake he ever made was picking Purdue over Iowa. But at the time, you could understand. Purdue was better than Iowa at the time. Mm-hmm. But he did say, and when he said, he goes, when you really want to recruit, one of the ways you show a recruit, even in this stage, that you really want him is you send multiple coaches to meet him. And he said that he was one of 4 coaches they sent to the high school to talk with him. And it's going to be interesting hearing him tell that story again. But, yeah, we'll have Don on Monday, and then it's full go. The season is here.
He's a good player, man. I remember watching Brock.
See, I don't. I don't remember watching him. I remember 79. I was 15 years old. So you remember him at Purdue?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I don't remember him.
And I think his name was so interesting to me that, and then he was a good player.
Yeah, I don't think he
Brock Speck.
I don't think he played in the NFL. I'd have to look.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but no, he did. Iowa, they really wanted him because Don said he was a linebacker, but who also ran track. He was very athletic and what have you. So, he'll have his team ready to play. I mean, they're not going to win, but, I mean,
can you imagine the meltdown if we lose to Illinois State?
Jesus Christ. Could you imagine?
First damn game, Jesus.
I mean, if they lose that game and the offense is bad, Lester will just be he'll
McNamara with 4 interceptions.
Yeah. I don't think he'll have a chance to throw 4.
39 yards.
God, I could not imagine that. Then they come back the next week and beat Iowa State. No, I think if Illinois State can keep it close, that's a victory for them. But even if Iowa struggles, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, if let's say Iowa wins 17-13, it's going to be almost like they lost.
It will be, and the culprit will be the offense.
They don't have much.
Probably.
Yeah, what if it ends up being just a scoring fest? Parker's defense just gets shredded.
44-39.
Iowa hangs on to win 44-39. McNamara throws for 600 yards.
Well, there's a portion of the fan base that would be ecstatic with
because they would think the defensive thing was just a fluke.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and that the offensive thing is bad.
I don't think that's going to happen. I will be surprised if Illinois State scores more than 15 points. There's my prediction.
Well,
right
we
there.
averaged, what did we give up last year, 14.8?
Roughly like that, yeah, and they led the nation in yards per play. I can't remember, was that 2.3 or something like that? So I'm not saying they're going to be that good, but this defense has a chance to be good. Now, the one thing is they're not as deep on the defensive line as they were last year. I mean, Aaron Graves and Yahweh Black are both really good starting defensive tackles, but I'm not sure about the guys behind them. I'm not knocking them, but they just haven't really had a chance to prove themselves. Last year, though, you had Aaron Graves as one of the backups, and so they're a little thin, I think, at depth on the defensive line. But, boy, the initial starters are really good. And I'm not sure about the linebackers behind Nick Jackson, Kyler Fisher, and Jay Higgins, of course. I mean, none of them have really played much. So, I mean, they've got a great starting unit, but hopefully they won't have injuries to test the depth. But, you know, sometimes that happens in football.
Sometimes it does.
So we'll see. So we shall see. Is it already 9:40?
Almost, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we're having Noah on, and he's supposed to call in at and I've also set up a couple other interviews. We're going to have Macy Inking, the soccer goalie. Oh. I think she's one of the best goalies in there. We've had her on before, too.
Yeah.
She's one of the best goalies in the country, and we're having a cross-country runner on. They've given me the dates. His first name is Hayden, so I'm going to have to ask him if he's named after Hayden. But, yeah, no, Iowa's really doing a good job of helping us set up interviews. Most of them are going to be – there may be a soccer interview or two that's going to be held on Monday between 10 and 11 after Don's on, but most of these will be on Wednesday. Most of the interviews that we do with these Iowa athletes and coaches will be on Wednesday during the school year, and I really appreciate Iowa helping us to arrange this because I think fans enjoy hearing from the Iowa coaches.
I think so
from
too.
all different sports too, you know. So, but yeah, we'll have Macy Inking. She's been incredible, and I do, like I said, I think soccer has a chance to be really good this year. Coach Diani's done a great job.
Well, they won 4-1, I think, against
Colorado
College.
Yeah, and they were leading Oregon State 2-0 when the weather came. So, I mean, that's like I said, they're off to an impressive start.
I went to Hy-Vee, and there was a bulldog in a car, but somebody was sitting with him. He was waiting for his wife, and he said, "Boy, I'm glad that somebody's with my dog," you know, to me. And he goes, "Dog's name is Hayden. Doesn't he look like a Hayden?" And I looked at, and he did. I mean, and he had a little Iowa shirt on, not like.
There's a bulldog that lives a block away from me. It's right on the corner of Brookside and Willow.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, like I'll be driving by and it'll be sitting out in the front yard, and I'll take that slow turn, and it's just staring at me. It just stares at me the whole time. But yeah, it's just this bulldog.
They do remind you of Hayden.
Bulldogs are funny. I've never had one, but no, there are one. And there's this pit bull living 2 doors down from me. It got loose the other day, and the owner was trying to catch up with it. But I will tell you, it came up to me in my garage and just jumped and just wanted petted. And but then it went out and terrorized some dogs that were walking. I felt sorry for this guy that was walking his 2 dogs because I think it wanted to play. But these 2 dogs did not want to play. They were going nuts. But the pit bull's tail, it was a baby pit bull too, but it was so excited to be free, you know, and it was funny.
Yeah. No, well, Mo. I like Mo, you know. Do they have a big head like Mo?
No, it's not big enough yet.
Yeah.
I think it's a little different breed of pit bull too. I like Mo, but Mo did growl at us.
Yeah.
You know, Mo's got problems.
Mo growled at us.
Why does Mo have problems?
Because he growled at us.
When did
he growled at you and I?
Well, I just told him, "Hey, you knock it off."
But he still growled. I mean, remember we were right there. He growled at it. It was a deep, mean growl too.
He's got problems.
Suter's diagnosed.
And most pit bulls that I've met are super nice.
Yeah.
Just super nice. But Mo evidently has got some
maybe he just doesn't
crosses to bear.
Maybe he just doesn't like. He may not like the show. He may not like the station.
Well, why would he?
You know, the station takes his owner away from him. Are you going into that crap station again? Maybe that's what he says.
Well, when Lily would come in here, she'd go around to everybody, spend about 5 seconds with everybody and go right to the door.
Well, I remember the first time I met Mo, I was sitting right here, and he came in, his tail was wagging, I pat him on the head. Yeah. He just didn't want anything to do with me the last time he was here. He seemed a little bothered.
Yeah, well.
We all have
He
days.
didn't like your articles.
I think he didn't. I think he says I'm a hater.
Homer.
No, hater. Hater. I've been accused of being both. Hack, Homer, and hater. I've been accused of being all three.
H's.
Yep.
And with that, we'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
the station that saves you money, lots of money. The next KCJJ radio auction happens this Friday morning beginning at 6.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Don't tell them that we love that guy. And these people say that.
I think of my cell phone. There's not a big distinction there from family to customers, which I consider to be friends.
I love working with the people.
That kind of relationship that goes deep.
And when you hear those things, you think, okay, we're doing the right thing. We're doing it the right way.
We basically let you kind of walk us through the process, which is completely opposite of what a normal car dealership would do.
Deary Ford in Iowa City. See why people choose them over and over again. DearyFord.com.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching, and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top-level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip offers the ultimate sizzle of wood-fired pizza perfection. Elevate your pizza game with over 20 wood-fired pizzas, ranging from the Tony Pepperoni, the Philly Cheesesteak Pizza, Mary Margarita, and the Tavern Supreme. From the freshest ingredients, Tavern Blue cooks their pizzas to mouth-watering perfection in their wood-fired oven, which helps bring out those old-world flavors. Fresh creative salads, tacos, burgers, signature cocktails, beer, and wine are just a taste of what Tavern Blue has to offer. Tavern Blue is a family-friendly establishment that offers mini golf, table games, darts, and foosball. Go to tavernblue.com for the latest news, events, and specials, along with full menu options. Once again, that's tavernblue.com.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Football fans, this is Bill Leixenring of the Oxyoke Inn. We are on your way to or from the game. We're ready to serve you with the same quality food and customer service you've come to trust for over 80 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Partly cloudy today, becoming mostly sunny by late this afternoon. Our high 74 with wind out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 today. Tonight, clear. We'll drop to 54. Tomorrow, sunshine, 78. We'll get to 81 on Friday. Then the heat and the humidity return for the weekend. Upper 80s, low 90s Saturday, Sunday with a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. We're going to keep that warm stuff going into early next week. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 64.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Again, this Friday, another KCJJ radio auction. Savings between 40 and sometimes up to 70%. So it's a good deal. We got a lot of good food and stuff on the auction. So
we do.
Yeah.
We do. So let's see, what else is there? Anything I haven't seen anything? Maybe you have, Pat, on women's basketball front. Seen anything at all?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's August.
Any of the recruits?
I haven't seen. I don't follow it that closely. You probably follow it closer than I do. I have other people that do that for me, but I mean, I have not seen any.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I mean, we're going to have Jan on August 28th, and she can talk about recruiting some, but she's limited in what she can say.
Yeah, she is.
To me, that's a rule that needs with how much change has happened now. Is it really going to be a harm to let coaches say, yeah, we'd really love this girl. She's a great prospect. We're doing all we can to sign her. Some of the rules are so stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Some of the things they prohibit and some of the things they allow, it makes no sense. But, yeah, Jan's going to be limited on what she can say. She can't talk about Addie Deal. I'd love to get Jan Jensen's thoughts on Addie Deal, but she can't because she hasn't signed yet. I just think it's a stupid rule that's outdated.
So she won't be able to sign until,
I think, November of her senior year is when she can sign.
So that's coming up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if anyone wonders why we don't ask her about Addie Deal when she's here or when she's on the phone on the 28th, it's because she can't talk about it because of stupid NCAA rules. I mean, that's one question I'm going to ask Jan, if she thinks that's a rule that maybe should change. But yeah, I know. Shows you how busy she is and how concise they are with their schedule. Because when I got the email back from Iowa, okay, she's cleared these half an hour for you on the 28th, and they gave me that like a month ago. That shows you how far they plan ahead, though, with stuff like that. And, of course, we're sort of at a disadvantage because most of the stuff they do during the summer is in the morning. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's hard for us to get guests on during that time because we are on during the morning. And remember, we did do that thing with Liddell Betts the one time. Remember, I interviewed him at home and taped it and gave it to you, but you didn't like that. And I could see because you have to put it on. And you're old-fashioned. You don't like having live interviews, but that was the best we could do because they're practicing when we were on. So I haven't really tried to get assistant coaches like that because we'd have to tape them, and it's extra work for you. That's what you were bitching about.
Well, I mean, it's not a lot of extra.
But it was
work,
annoying,
right?
and I agree. I'm with you. So I don't bother them anymore because we're not. I mean, they practice from 8 to 10:30. I mean, we're on from 9 to 10:30. It's just that's why we can't get players on unless we get them taped and what have you. And I don't really like doing that either. So
no, live is better, but yeah, as you said, it's a problem with some of the players and coaches. I'm just glad we're able to get some. You know.
Mm-hmm. But then the shows that are on in the late afternoon have been bitching. They haven't been able to get people on because it's the late afternoon and they're tired.
Yeah, last thing I want to do is listen to the radio at 4 in the afternoon. To me, radio's morning.
Oh, it's magical at night.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it because I don't recall ever listening to the radio at night.
Well, I used to.
Yeah,
I don't so much anymore, but
oh God,
I listen to Molly's show sometimes,
But I mean, yeah, at night when we go across the freaking country, or the east part of the country, there's a ton of people that are listening. If we have when we were down that one Friday night because of the tornado, I must have very seriously taken 50 to 60 calls just in the time I was out here.
Wow. So what do you guys have on at night?
Music and news. And we got News Hourly and CBS and local and
Molly's
music.
on till 9 most times.
Yeah, we got nighttime sports.
Yeah,
and if we have any daytime sports that shoves our programs from the afternoon to the night, we got that. No, I used to listen to radio on. When I was a kid. Very few times did I watch TV at night. I listened to radio. God, it's solid.
I did both.
I never listened to radio until Feeney told me about you guys.
Yeah, but you just wanted to hear yourself be ripped. Isn't that what Feeney told me?
Well, he said, they rip you all the time on that.
No, he did not rip you all the time.
A lot, he said. He said a lot of it wasn't fun, and then he kind of told me what you guys were all about. And then, but Anthony was the main one. But I care what Anthony said. I really didn't. I didn't care.
I don't think we ripped you all the time, though. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Karen.
Hey,
I was
Karen.
going to ask, how come when WMT and WHO broadcast Iowa games, they're always delayed?
Some of them run digital processing, and some of them don't. It's a technical thing. Some of
Well,
them.
because when you're watching the game there, it's kind of silly. You're watching it, and then all of a sudden you hear about it. But KXIC, they'll be right on it. But then you said that's a computer.
It's just, basically it's just different processing. That's what it is.
Because it's nauseating to look at it and then hear it.
Well, I wouldn't listen to it. I would watch it on TV.
Me too.
Well, when I go to the games, I kind of like to listen to what Dolph, and this year I'd like to listen and find out what Anger has to say.
Okay, they've got a little FM transmitter that broadcasts to Kinnick.
Hey, we got a call coming in. I don't mean that. I mean, Karen, we got an Iowa golfer calling in at 10. I'm sorry.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
All right,
We'll see you.
At least he's scheduled to call in around 10, and if he called in with her on, it would be busy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Wasn't trying to cut her.
2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they're usually pretty punctual, too.
They are.
They have a transmitter, an FM transmitter at Kinnick, and it is in real time. It's Dolph and everybody, but it's in real time. Whereas when it goes to radio stations, there's always going to be some delay. It just depends on what processing they're using to how much.
Well, like I told you, I was watching what was it? Ray was covering a baseball game for you guys, and it was a state tournament, and Ray's commentary was like 40 seconds before what you saw on TV.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I didn't realize there was that big of a gap between.
It depends on how they send it, how they get it. Sometimes it's like a NASCAR with us. It's like 15 seconds or 20 seconds behind. It might be behind the TV. I don't know. But it's behind the actual, because we're getting it off the internet.
You know, the other thing I've noticed, Fox is always like 3 to 5 seconds ahead of CNN and MSNBC. If you're watching a live press conference, it's weird how Fox is always a little ahead of them. I wonder what causes that.
Just different ways of distributing it.
Huh.
And different processing.
Okay. But, yeah, they're always a couple minutes ahead on Fox. Or not minutes, seconds. Maybe 5-10 seconds. Because, like, if I channel surf, I'll see something on Fox. Hopefully this is Noah.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Is this Noah?
This is Noah.
All right, Noah, well, welcome. Noah Kent from Naples, Florida, joins us and just had an incredible run at the U.S. Amateur. You were sitting after the first day of stroke play. You were sitting at 240th place, and then you ended up finishing second in the whole country. What changed?
You know, I think it was just a little bit belief and a little bit of just knowing that I'm doing the right things, and it's whether or not it's going to come together at the right time. And I'd say it came together at the right time.
I would say so. Hey, Noah, this is Pat Harty. We appreciate you coming on. I saw you on the Big Ten Network yesterday. I know you're going to be doing a couple other interviews. I can't believe how many people in this town are talking about what you accomplished. I mean, it's incredible. So could you tell when you started playing? Could you tell? Yep, I'm in a rhythm. I got it. I feel really good. Could you see that happening?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I mean, yeah, as soon as I got into match play, I was supposed to play in the U.S. Junior last year, which is the tournament for kids 18 years and younger, but run by the USGA. But, you know, I got into match play, and I kind of got through that first match pretty easily, and then I kind of kept the momentum going. I did a really good job of, like, not making it all about the golf, because as soon as you start putting a little too much pressure on yourself, I feel like that's when people start to crumble a little bit. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but, like, talking to the Golf Channel and stuff like that, like, I kept saying how I was playing college football with my caddy. I mean, we just tried to make it like a normal day in life, but obviously it's a little bit more than that. And I felt like the more that I can keep my mind at ease and kind of just treat it like another round of golf and see where it took me, the better.
Iowa Sports Information gave me a lot of information about you. I find it interesting that you originally had plans to play ice hockey before a meeting with Rory McIlroy as a 13-year-old in 2017. Talk about that, and you grew up in Florida. How did you become interested in ice hockey as a young kid?
Yeah, one of my friends played hockey, and he was just like, you should do it. So I had to learn how to skate and got into it, and I kind of just fell in love with it right away. I mean, my dad's in the golf industry. He's a PGA professional, so he always wanted me to play, but I didn't really love it as a little kid. I mean, it's kind of hard to get into golf, and I loved how competitive ice hockey was and loved the team aspect, and then met Rory in 2017 at Erin Hills because my stepdad designed the course, and I got to meet him, shake his hand, and talk to him for a few minutes, and I get back to Florida, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go to ice hockey anymore. I don't want to go to practice. Like, I'd rather just go out to the course, and it just kind of went from there.
Did it come easy from you at the beginning? I mean, I hear people say, to me, golf's one of the hardest sports there is to play. Did you catch on quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you see it all now. Like, every hockey player kind of has really good mechanics and hits the ball a long way. So I feel like as a younger kid, like playing in junior stuff, I was always kind of like a long ball hitter, and it's kind of just finding like the right stuff for me. And I feel like I always had really good mechanics. Everybody always kind of said I had a gift, and it was just kind of for me having the belief in myself to know that I have a gift and I have a lot of talent that I can use to my advantage. And I feel like this week I finally did the job that I know I have inside me to show not only myself but other people around the world that who I am and what I'm all about.
So when you met with Rory McIlroy, was he able to give you some insight or some pointers that really got you pointed in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I talk to him for the first time, I mean, he's not the biggest guy out there. I mean, so I'm like, how do you hit the golf ball so far? And he pointed to his legs. He's like, you got to use the ground and use your legs to your advantage. And I feel like from hockey, you're already so used to pushing off the ice and stuff. I kind of just took it from there. I mean, I remember my parents saying something as a little kid. I would just sit in my room and I'd just watch YouTube swing videos of Rory and other tour players. I was very self-taught before I started working with my coach, and I just kind of had like a natural love for the game and kind of just kept growing and growing and growing.
I'm curious, your coach at Iowa, your coaches, how did they prepare you for the event? Because obviously your head coaches here, they mean a lot to you. Did they have a lot to do with getting you mentally prepared for this thing?
I work with a sports psychologist. Obviously, the coaches here at Iowa help. Like, he sent me a nice text saying that you're that person and nobody wants to face you.
I've seen that text, just so you know. Iowa Sports Information, I thought it was real. That's why I was asking. I thought that was really cool what he said to you.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then I talked to my swing coach, Claude Harmon, and then I talked to my sports psychologist a lot during the week. And then obviously I had a special connection with Mr. Harris, who's won the event before. So, I mean, it was just, I have a lot of amazing people in my corner that I'm so thankful for and very blessed to have. And, I wouldn't be where I am today without the people who love and support me the way they do.
How did you end up at Iowa? I mean, I'm sure you had other options. What led you to the University of Iowa?
Coach Stiff and everybody here at the university really wanted me to be here, and they're the first school to give me a chance and had belief in me as a 16-year-old whenever recruitment started. And, it's something that comes to my heart and I hold heavily inside is like I want to be somewhere where they want me, and I know that I can do so much good for the community here, and they've done so much good for me. So, I mean, I grew up a Hawkeye fan. My mom's from Iowa. One of my uncles played football at Iowa, so I grew up wanting to represent the black and gold and the Hawks.
Who are your uncles, if you mind me asking?
Chris Keel played linebacker.
Okay.
I forget when.
I remember.
Back in the early 2000s. And then my mom, they're from a small town, top left corner called Rock Rapids.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, Chris used to sit near me at Iowa men's basketball games. Yeah, I know Chris. And now, are you 19 years old or are you 20?
I'm 19.
You're 19, and you've qualified for the U.S. Open and the Masters. I mean, can you put that in perspective? I mean, what that means to you?
I mean, it kind of hasn't registered yet, to be completely honest. I mean, I drove down after the championship match and got moved into my apartment. I mean, we're starting golf practice today, and school starts next week. I feel like as I kind of look back on things and whenever I get the invitation to both tournaments, I feel like it'll be like a wow moment. Like, I can't believe I did it. Like, it's something to that you think of for the future. Like, that's what I want to do, but like to be a 19-year-old kid and a sophomore in college, I mean, it's something that you like can't even fathom.
It's incredible.
So have you played in your head yet what it's going to feel like on the first tee when you're teeing off at the Masters?
I think that'll probably be the most nervous I've ever been on a tee box in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like thinking, how am I going to get the tee in the ground? How am I going to tip a golf ball? Can I even swing a golf club? So.
Well, there's going to be extra attention shown to you because of who you are.
Sure.
I mean, it's going to be, and I wanted to ask you, now that you've played at this level, the challenge now is to sustain and be consistent. Not saying you have a target on your back, but you have something, you have to live up to yourself now. Can you talk about that challenge?
I mean, I think it's just a lot about having belief in myself. I mean, it's a humble confidence you got to have. You don't want to be cocky. You don't want to come off arrogant like that. But it's like knowing inside that it doesn't matter who you're up against, and knowing you can hit all the shots, and knowing that whenever you show up to any tournaments, like I'm as good as anybody here, and it's a matter of fact of who's going to hit the least amount of golf shots and go from there. I mean, it's just all about self-belief and having self-confidence in yourself. And, you know, people are going to doubt you, and they're going to say what they're going to say, but it's like, you got to stay humble and stay confident and know that you can pull off whatever you want to do in life.
You know what else this does? This brings nice exposure to the Iowa golf program,
Sure
too.
It does.
Have you thought about that, what you're doing to maybe help Iowa Hawkeye recruit other golfers?
No, it's awesome. I mean, I have a couple buddies who came in this year. One of my friends from Texas who I've met and played with a couple times. I mean, it's awesome. I talked to the coaches a little bit about it, what they've said about how it's the biggest thing that's happened in the program to this date. I mean, it's awesome. Like, I was out at dinner last night with my parents saying goodbye to them, and some guy came up and asked for a photo. I mean, it hasn't really registered, to be completely honest. I mean, I'm still just a 19-year-old kid who's in college here at Iowa who loves the golf and loves the ride of life.
So did you surprise yourself, or did you know you were capable of this? It was just a matter of putting it all together.
I think I knew I could do it, but it was a matter of fact of, like, believing in myself. Like, I gained the belief in myself that I had never once had as soon as I made it into match play. And I feel like now it's just, like, I know I'm as good as anybody. I mean, it was an awesome fight with Jose Lay out there. I mean, I'm sure if I had a few more holes, I think it would have swayed the other direction, but I fought like crazy. And
sure did.
I have more belief in myself than I ever have in my life.
So Noah, what part of your game are you best at, would you say?
I mean, my short game's really good in my iron play, but the more and more I think about it, I feel like I'm just a very good, like, competitor, like, mentally wise, and, like, I'm very gritty, and I never really give in that easy. Like, I'm sure a lot of people in my situation going on the second 18, you're 4 down. I'm sure a lot of them would have packed it in, but I mean, I fought it to the last hole. I'm sure a lot of people didn't think I was going to get it to the last hole. So to do that, I can hold my head really high.
I mean, every sport, mental is obviously a factor, but I think it's fair to say in golf, the mentality, the approach mentally is huge, isn't it? Can you talk about just how, obviously all you guys at this level, when you get to college, you're all good at skills and what have you, but the mental part of it, how important is that?
I mean, yeah, it's like you have 14 clubs in your bag while you play, but your mental is almost kind of like your 15th club. I mean, if you think you're going to hit that shot, I'm sure your probability is going to go up a lot. I mean, if you get negative, it's going to get bad. I mean, I've just kind of learned when things get hard, it's like you got to remind yourself of, like, what you can do and what you can pull off, and the way you think and the way you kind of project yourself and how you walk. I figure out how I walk, how I carry myself. Helps me play better. Like I try to do a good job, like making sure I smiled a lot and kept my head up and walked very confidently, even though if I wasn't playing good, I knew it would project positively for me.
So how important, Noah, is nutrition? I mean, do you have to have a special diet that you're on, or can you eat like every other 19-year-old and knock back a pizza every week?
And then like weight training too. How much of that do you do?
So at school we're doing 3 days a week of weight training. I try to stretch. Stretching is very important for golf. I mean, lifting's important, but stretching's good. But I probably should take a little bit better care for my nutrition. But, you know, I'm kind of just like every other 19-year-old. You like what you like.
Yep.
So
I want to ask, NIL, obviously it's huge in football, men's basketball, other sports. Is NIL, has it made an impact with golf at all?
It's getting there. I don't feel like it's fully registered for me. I think I still need to prove a little bit to the world what I can do. I mean, this is just a start for me, and it's a lot more than just NIL, in my opinion. I mean, I just love to play golf, and I love to enjoy the sport and what it comes with. And I want to put my name down in history. I don't care what comes with it. I just want to put my name up with the greats, to be honest.
So, what is your goal going into your season with the Hawkeyes? What do you? I mean, do you have any specific goals that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, I want the team to make regionals in the NCAA championship and win a couple times as a team. But I mean, I haven't got my first individual win yet. I still would love to check that off the board. We have a couple great events here in the fall, and I'm in a pretty good place right now with my game. So I feel like just stay on the grind and don't really get too far ahead of yourself, and kind of just stay in your roots and be true to who you are, and let God take the ride from there.
So can you assume that you're going to probably maybe lift the level of your competitors because of what you've accomplished? They're like, I want to beat this guy. He's going to the mat. Are you sort of expecting that your competition's going to rise because they're going to want to beat you because of what you've accomplished?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'll probably have a little bit bigger target on my back, but I feel like it helps our team out, to be honest. I mean, they're going to want to spend a lot more time at the facility getting as good as me and, kind of spend as much time as they can with me. And I love that. Like, I love being a leader and love showing and telling them that my opinion on certain things and what I think needs to be done. So I think I'm going to help the team a lot in a positive way, which is really cool.
So when you were deciding about college, I know you said Iowa was in early. The weather up here, was that, I mean, obviously you could have gone to a warm weather school and not have to worry about the winter months or whatever. Was the weather a factor at all? And does that affect you at all, having those winter months where you can't be outside?
I mean, our winter here last year was not bad. I mean,
it really was. It was mild.
Kind of get me scared about it being from Florida, but I mean, to be honest, we're gone for a month in December, and we're gone for Thanksgiving, and then we start our spring season. We're down in Florida for 2 weeks, and then we go to Puerto Rico. And it's like all the cold months that everybody's like, oh, it's going to be so cold and all this. I mean, it's like we're gone.
That's a good point. I had thought
great.
Of it. No, that is a good point. Yeah, that. So, how often do you play golf every day? I mean, like, does your schedule allow that? Is that are there days where are there ever times where you're like, man, I need to take some time off. I just need to take some time off and exhale and kind of regroup.
It's kind of funny. Yesterday, I really wanted to practice. Everybody's like, you need time off. It's like I was just really busy yesterday. But I love to play. I mean, I love to practice, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you learn a lot more out on the golf course. I mean, it's hard. Like, we've practiced. I'll come out every single day. Like, I don't take that many off days. Maybe right when season's done, I'll take a handful, but I love the grind way too much to give it up for a couple of days. I know that there's people out there in the world that are going to be outworking me, and I want to outwork them. So if that's not – it's kind of just more about, like, managing your time and knowing what part of your games you should work on more oftentimes than not.
Well, and you're also playing a sport that most people play for leisure and pay lots of money to play it for leisure. I mean, even if you weren't like a competitive golfer, I'm assuming you'd golf a lot on your own anyway, wouldn't you? Because I'm some of my friends, they love playing golf. They play 18 holes a day. They just love it out there.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I have a lot of awesome guys around me here on the team, and then my uncle still lives in Iowa City. So if I'm not playing with my teammates and I have an off day, I'm playing with my uncle and his friends in a fun game. I mean, I love just being around it, to be honest, whether that's with whoever. I mean, I just love golf. I mean, I love playing. Playing's my thing. Playing's my thing for sure.
How fun is it being on a team? You look at golf as an individual sport, but in college you're on a team.
No, it's a little different. I actually think it helps you put into perspective that you're not always caring about yourself, which kind of almost makes you play better in a sense. You're caring more about the team. It's like, if you're playing good, it's like, okay, my team isn't playing good. Maybe I can make a handful more birdies. Takes your mind off of your round because you're fighting more for the team and maybe helps you play a little bit better. I think playing in a team aspect is a good change because, I mean, before college, I mean, you're just playing as an individual, and I feel like sometimes it can get a little tiring.
Sure.
For sure.
So, Noah, you averaged a little over 72 strokes for 18 in the last year, I think it was. What do you have to do to get that number lower?
I feel like I grew a lot as a person last year. I mean, I was a freshman. I'm kind of getting used to this whole college golf thing last year. Junior golf to college golf is a big change, but I feel like now I have some goals set in my mind that I haven't really set in stone yet after this week that I definitely know what I'm capable of now, and I definitely have some bigger goals, but also some short-term goals that I want to hammer out first. So, I feel like if I just stick to the grind and stick to what I'm doing and be true to my roots, I feel like that number could go down quite significantly.
So when you were doing what you were doing last week, were you aware in your mind how big of what you were accomplishing and how they impact? I mean, you've done this show, you're on the Big Ten Network. I know a buddy of mine from the Cedar Rapids paper is going to be interviewed. Were you prepared for what the impact was going to be?
No, I mean, I blacked out, to be completely honest. Like, I'm looking back at my highlights, and I'm kind of just like, wow, like, dude, like, what were you doing? Or, like, what, like, it's so funny. Like, all my friends are, like, kind of talking to me, and, I just kind of treat it like another day. I mean, I'm playing college football before my quarterfinal match. I'm playing college football before my semifinal match. I'm kind of just, like, having fun with it, and not trying to put too much pressure on myself.
Well, it obviously worked.
So you were in the zone.
You were definitely in the zone.
Yeah.
That shot out of the bunker, I saw almost every shot you made on Twitter. I could not believe the amount of social media coverage. But the bunker shot you made that went in, when you hit that, hopefully you remember the one I'm talking. When do you know a shot like that's going in?
I'm pretty feely and can feel it in my hands, but I can tell, like, pretty much, like, right off the first bounce. So the shot I made, the one on 11,
yes.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah,
the one on 11 over the bunker. Yeah, I hit that one, and I had such a bad lie, and I took such a big swing, and it landed soft on the green. I saw it rolling, and my family was right behind the pin, and they started going nuts, and I could see them, like, moving and going crazy before it even went in. And I turned to my caddy, I'm like, oh my God, it's going in.
It was
and
incredible.
I saw it go in, and that was quite a moment. I probably can't say on here what I said out there, but you guys can probably imagine.
I could imagine. No, it was an incredible shot, and the angle that I saw it from was perfect because it was right behind, and when it hit the green, I'm like, God, that thing looks like it's going to go in, and it was incredible. So when you go into a tournament, how familiar are you with the greens? Do the greens change from day to day? Sometimes they're soft. How much do they change on a daily basis to where you have to adjust?
I mean, I don't feel like they change a lot. Definitely for like a championship-style event like the USAM and what the USGA puts on. I mean, I don't really try and overcomplicate things. I mean, I feel like when you're out there, you can kind of get used to them really quick. You kind of have a good grasp of what they're like, hitting iron shots into it and chip shots and bunker shots and putts. But I feel like more so importantly is not losing the feel for the game. Like, you want to be a little creative. You don't want to be so, like, one-dimensional. Like, you got to have fun out there in tournaments. You don't want to play like you're a robot. Like, you want to play like you're your own person. For me, that's playing like Noah Kent.
Well, it certainly worked. And, well, listen, we appreciate your time, Noah. We got one last question for you. I don't know if Iowa Sports Information prepared you, but remember, we're a radio station, so this is not going to be a sports-related question. We ask this to all of the UI athletes that we have on for the first time.
And the coaches.
And the coaches. And thanks again for your time, and I'll let Tom take it away with the last question.
All right, Noah. So you pick up the phone, your phone rings, and it's Beth Getz, athletic director at the University of Iowa, saying, Noah, I need your help. We need Noah Kent to book a band, an act, or a singer to fill up Kinnick Stadium to make money for the athletic department. Who is Noah Kent going to hire?
So, music artist,
yes.
Band, anybody like that?
Yep.
I mean, I'd probably say the first two that come to mind, I'd probably say Luke Combs or Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
And,
we've had both of those guys.
We have had both of those.
Both of those guys have been picked before,
yep.
Especially Luke Combs is really hot right now.
Good choices.
Good choices, Noah. Hey, congratulations again. It's going to be fun following you as a Hawkeye. Appreciate your time on this. Good luck with everything.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor and a blast.
You bet. Appreciate it.
Take care, Noah.
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Good interview. He's 19.
Yeah.
When I was 19,
very mature.
I had trouble eating soup at 19. You know. You'd been
I
in radio for
some
15.
On myself the other night.
You'd been in radio for 15 years at 19, hadn't you? No, he's well spoken, and I like his mental approach. He doesn't make it more serious. No, he just seems like he's got a really good head on his shoulder. And we understand he had connections here, and you know that's a big part of recruiting. I know his uncle Chris. I know Chris, and he is. That's a big part of recruiting, though, is having connections. And I asked him about the weather. I hadn't thought about that. They really don't have to deal with, because they are gone for a month during the break, because, Iowa's students, the semester break's almost a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, so they really don't spend much time here in the winter months and what have you. And I have a feeling this is going to help Iowa recruit some guys.
Well, you would sure think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, though, the help that he's getting. You can tell he really likes being part of the team. And, no, it's just a cool interview, and I appreciate Iowa helping to set that up. And now I think he's doing an interview with Mike Halas for the Cedar Rapids paper. He's been on the Golf Network. No, this was a huge accomplishment that you just don't see happen very often.
240th place after the first round of
and he was ranked 565, and the guy he beat the one day or was playing against was ranked 10th. Yeah, it's just it's Caitlin Clark-like, isn't it?
Oh, I was just thinking that very much so.
Yeah. Why didn't we ask him about Caitlin Clark? Isn't that a...
Well, I almost did.
I forgot about it. I saw Christine Brennan is writing a book on Caitlin.
Yeah.
From USA Today.
Yeah,
she's going to be writing. It's going to come out in 2025. And that'll be a good read. And but yeah, that was a fun interview. I kept having to remind myself, this kid's 19.
I know.
And he doesn't really seem. I think he's seems to have a really good head on his shoulders. Yeah, he said he kind of blacked out and everything, but it seems like he's processing it well right now. Not taking himself too serious. Just kind of going with the flow, and he starts school. Now you imagine what's going into his first class next week. I'm guessing
things will change a little.
Yeah, hey, how'd your summer go? What'd you do this summer? I qualified for the Masters and the U.S. Open. What'd you do?
I can only imagine what that would be like for him to step on that first tee.
We said he's going to be as nervous as he.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Masters will be before the U.S. Open. So,
right.
yeah, and as big as the U.S. Open is, don't you? I still say the Masters isn't it the highest?
I think
I would
so.
rank it number one of all the majors, but that's
you
just
get a
me.
jacket and everything.
And it's just a beautiful course. And but
some folks would say the Open Championship.
some would, yeah, fair enough.
Open.
Fair enough. But I will say it's great publicity for Iowa golf, too.
Yeah,
Great recruiting. And I'm sure, he said NIL start. I would imagine he helped his NIL cause a little bit. Don't you think?
I was going to say, I'll bet in the next couple of weeks there's a big boost for him.
Yeah, I would imagine he may get some sponsorships and what have you. So, no, it's a really cool story. But, again, thank you for Iowa Sports Information for helping arrange it.
Here, how many golf shops do we have around?
A ton.
Yeah.
Isn't there Golfzilla?
Golfzilla, Golf.
Is there still a Golfzilla?
There used to be one out in that little strip mall where the Brugers was, out in Coralville, across from IRP.
Yeah,
I don't think it's there anymore.
I don't either.
Nor is IRP there anymore. What's in that building now?
They're supposedly going to remodel it. That's all they've said.
I thought it was cool. I thought
I
IRP was neat inside.
Yeah, no, it was.
I didn't think it needed remodeled.
I loved going there.
I did too. And it's a neat location. Yeah. You can sit there and look out and see that beautiful. Is that Iowa River or Cedar River?
Mm-hmm.
It's Iowa River.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's a really cool location. So that's empty right now.
Yeah.
And you've got that building right across from, Sycamore Mall. That used to be a bank. It's empty right next to the cleaning. Yeah. It's empty.
That's a neat building.
It's a neat building. I look at it every time, and I'm like, God, that should be a Tasty Tacos.
That's going to be a drive-through liquor store.
I remember you telling me that. I think we need more of that. We need more access to alcohol.
I always
in this
thought
town.
that would be a perfect place to put a radio station.
But don't you think we need more access to alcohol?
Well, yeah. Somebody's got to give Casey's a run for its money. Casey's. That one on Scotch. Jesus.
Oh, I haven't been there.
First of all, you have to cut the smoke, and, just like you're going through curtains.
I went there one time, and the lady was on the phone arguing with somebody, and she told me to – I said, ma'am, I'm in kind of a hurry, and she basically told me to go to hell.
Listen, she's always on the phone. I know the woman you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like I was an annoyance to her.
I wanted to get some Diet Cokes. I didn't want to go to the grocery store after we ate at Midtown, and she first of all, I have to go through two other people with Casey's shirts on that are smoking up a storm, and then go in there, and she's on the phone.
Well, there's also a lady, I think we're talking about different ladies, who's too nice. She won't shut up.
Is this like a heavy-set kind of brunette?
I don't know about heavy set. She looks like she's probably in her 60s or 70s, long. Super nice, but there's times where I don't want super nice. I want out of there. You know, and she, one time she's like, "Oh, you seem to be in a hurry." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I'm at a convenience store." You know, I am in a hurry.
Hello.
I was just going to add that Golf USA is in Coralville. It used to be Golf USA. It's Golf Iowa. And really the only other store is Shields.
Yeah.
I guess Play It Again. But then you have Ostad's and some other ones up in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah,
around here,
Play It Again
one
Sports,
true
yeah.
store.
Yeah, and Shields does have they have a huge selection. I'm wearing a Shields shirt today because they're a proud Hawk Fanatic sponsor and a proud sponsor of Your Prep Sports.
When are you going to wear a KCJJ shirt?
I could. Well, that gray one, I've washed it a few times. Yeah, but yeah, I will. But wouldn't you rather have me wear KCJJ shirts outside of KCJJ?
Oh, I would rather you wear them all the time.
Well, I'm not going to do that. That's
all the time.
Creepy. I mean, I wear, but I wear this because they're. But no, I've got this. My problem with the black KCJJ shirts, I got tons of them. They're itchy. They're just itchy. But this gray one, I've washed it. It's comfortable, and I wear that every once in a while. I guess I just don't wear it here because I mean, you don't even have a KC.
I had a Molly Suter shirt on yesterday.
But yeah, no, I'll wear the gray one in here at some point.
I've got like 6 or 7 of these.
I mean, last time I had my Jimi Hendrix T-shirt on. Prior to that, I wore the Zeppelin. And, you know, I'll wear the Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd. I got a little Steely Dan T-shirt I wear in here sometimes. But no, and I know they don't advertise.
I get you a Carly Rae Jepsen.
That'll help. But I do appreciate what Shields does for us. And because they don't have to. I mean, do you think Shields needs Hawk Fanatic to spread their brand?
I think they're doing okay on their own.
But they do it to support the community, and I really do appreciate that. And they
You
do
bet.
it for our high school site, too. And, well, the one thing is now I do all my shopping at Shields now. Whenever I need stuff, whereas used to I'd go to wherever it was most convenient. Now I go out there just as a kind of like what you guys do with your average. You know, you go to.
Shields is a good store.
But it is a good store. And I will say, every advertiser I have, all their stuff is quality. I mean, all the restaurants, I mean, all the stuff, it is all good.
I know that the people that don't advertise here
Suck?
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that, but
I-
it sounds bad, especially coming from you.
Why does it sound worse coming from me?
I don't know. It's just, you got a gift.
I'm not saying they all suck, but the ones who advertise are better, right?
Yeah, they're all, yes. They're
But I will say when
when
I'm plugging the restaurants and stuff that advertise with me, I'm not lying. I love Oriza is advertised. We got Black Angel now, and I'm going to make a trek. I'm going to go to Godfather's sometime. Why don't we go to Godfather's? I'll do that.
In the quads?
We'll go to and so let's do that sometime.
And go to-
and
in
where
the
Andy
park?
Is it a sit-down Godfather's? I assume?
I'll have to ask Andy. I'm reaching out to him this afternoon to try to get
go eat it in a park.
Mini Ripperton playing in the background.
Love you.
But I loved Godfather's Pizza as a kid. And what's
it's
interesting,
good.
I was talking to Rob Howe. He grew up in New York. He'd never heard of Godfather's. So is Godfather's it's not national?
Oh, it's national.
He said there was no Godfather's in
There was a Godfather's, and I never did understand this. My brother, who was kosher, he is kosher, when he'd come into the Quad Cities, he'd say, well, I got to eat at Godfather's, and then we get a sausage pizza. I don't understand why he had to eat at Godfather's, because he said, it's kosher.
Is it kosher?
Yeah, but you got sausage.
I
on
just
it.
liked it because it tasted good. The Godfather's growing up in Des Moines on 42nd Street was great.
The crust is really
I
good.
love their crust.
Yeah,
I
it
loved
really
it.
is good.
It was not real thin, but it still felt thin because it was crispy.
Well, we used to go there for lunch.
Now, I've heard Gray's has.
Here.
How's Gray's Pizza?
It's good, real good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have to try that. I know they're a loyal advertiser
Real
with you
good,
guys.
yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I may. I'm going to have
it's
to try
very
that.
good. Hello.
Good morning, guys. The Godfathers in Silvis is set down.
It is? Okay. All right.
All right. Good to know.
But yeah, they're one of our newest. They're going to advertise during the football season, and I appreciate that. And I know Andy's a devoted listener to the show, and you know him from
Andy's
tailgating.
great.
So, and like I said, I think
know
I'm
him
giving.
from the OJ case.
What do you mean?
Furman.
Oh,
Hey,
there you go.
A little bit different. A little bit different.
But no, it's but no, I like having. It's so much better having sponsors and advertisers whose stuff you enjoy.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have to lie about it.
No.
You know?
Nope.
And like I said, and a lot of these restaurants and stuff, I kind of got to know them through you guys. But Black Angel, that's the Perez family. I've known them for years. They used to be El Banditos. And Tom, I know you go there.
Oh, yeah.
So you go there for breakfast too, right?
We have.
Okay, see,
Well, you can get breakfast there anytime.
Yeah, and their breakfast food it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It is really good. And like I said, I love that building. I think it's a neat atmosphere. So I'm just glad to have them, and hopefully we can.
The city give them a sign.
Yeah,
some kind of a sign. It doesn't have to be.
They've got a little tiny thing on the side of the building that you can barely read, and they can't. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
I remember Red Lobster was right where Midtown was. Remember?
Yes.
And they wanted to put the lobster sign up, and
they wouldn't let them.
The city just threw a fit.
We obsess over the weird. I mean, we let homeless people pound on your cars, but you can't have a sign at a. I don't get that. Explain that to me, Mr. Iowa.
No can do.
Can't. No, I don't get it. Especially the homeless people banging on cars.
I had one bang on my car the other day, and I rolled down the window. I'm like, "What's your problem?" He goes, "I want money," and I'm like, "We all want money. Why don't you give me some money?" I said to the guy, and then he walked away. I asked the guy for money.
There's been different people too, and right by Gateway, and KFC standing on that median strip, and they got the sign, and they're living in a van with 2 children. And it's different people with the same freaking sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they drive them in. They drive them in from the Quad
I've
Cities.
heard that. That is true. They drive in the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
And it's like a job.
And then they take half their damn money. I mean, they've been investigated by Channel 6 and crap. Yeah, they take half their money that they collect, and they drive them in from the Quad Cities.
Yeah, the worst intersection is there. It's Riverside and Highway 6 out there by the Arby's, and that's where there always seems to be someone, and they're very aggressive around there. And my biggest concern, I don't want to hit them.
No.
You hit them, then they're going to sue you.
Hey, somebody got killed on that stretch of road. So, I mean, and the city still didn't do a damn thing about it. And somebody's got to live because the guy stumbled into his car.
And imagine how that person feels, even though it wasn't their fault.
And it wasn't their fault.
No, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there's some things. I love this town in a lot of ways, but there are some things I don't understand, like why Black Angel can't put a sign up on there. It's just, but none of the business.
None of them.
Yeah.
And I've eaten at half a dozen different restaurants there
in that building.
Doug's Diner,
Lou
Lou Henry's, Midtown.
Yeah.
Was it a Maid Ride at one time? Or no, I'm thinking of Midtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
and then
the original Midtown.
And then Black Angel. We've just named off 5 different restaurants, and none of them could have signs. I don't get it.
And
what do they say is the because is it an eyesore?
It's a neighborhood.
Billy's Hi Hat.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood.
So what is okay?
So then why do you let a business operate? It doesn't make any sense. You got a business in a neighborhood, and yet you can't put.
But why? What does having a sign?
The city hates signs. I mean, they wanted to have a more elaborate sign at the Englert, and they wouldn't let them.
You think they've seen the movie Signs?
Jesus.
That was on the other day.
That I would have banned the signs.
Well, we were just at the Englert the other day. It was a great concert.
But they were going to have...
Was it Ace of Base?
It was not.
They were going to have an old-fashioned...
Marty Stewart.
He's great.
Oh, incredible.
Never heard of him or her. It's a him?
Yes, and he's a country artist, but it's a crossover like it. No, he's
He's been a road dog since he was 12 years old.
What's a road dog?
Just he's been performing on the road.
Okay.
I mean, he's just
okay.
How old is he now? He's on. That's the one show that I watch on RFD TV.
I think he's in his 60s, isn't he?
He's got to be.
Never heard of him.
Oh,
You guys are broadening my horizons.
Well, you would like him.
With
65.
You think I'd like him?
He's been active since 1968.
If you can warm up to these little bluegrass, little country.
I don't mind.
And some of them rock pretty good.
Got a little mandolin.
He's an incredible mandolin player.
See, I like the sound of mandolins and violins.
He's got a good show.
I could probably.
Great show.
It's on. Well, he's got a show on RFD TV, and it's really I've watched him.
Should get him on.
He's a session musician. Played with.
Should we get him on Hawk Fanatic?
Yeah, get him on.
Ask him who he'd fill Kinnick with. He says Motorhead.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Engineer Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
Hold on just a minute.
What are you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you then.
Yeah. Well,
this isn't going well, Tim.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We've heard you the whole time.
Yeah, you've been here the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is
my stupid phone. Anyway, what I wanted to say is Marty Stewart played with Johnny Cash's band for many years when he was young.
Okay. Obviously, that's quite an accomplishment. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, he's played with a lot of greats. Lester Flatt.
Okay, I've heard of Lester. Am I the only one that likes the silent moments?
Should I be concerned that our engineer doesn't know to turn his phone down, or turn the radio down when he
A little
calls
bit.
in?
A little bit.
Okay. Karn turns her phone down. Her radio.
So that's the guy you go to when you're in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of them. One of them.
That was funny.
He played with Bill Monroe for a number of years.
Never heard of Bill Monroe.
I hired him when he was 14 or 15. He used to come out and watch me when I was in Muscatine when he was 12.
Isn't that against the law?
Huh?
What's it against the law?
Why?
14? You're like, what are you, MAGA?
No, he used to watch me. He got hit by a car when he was riding his bike out to watch me one day.
See, that's your fault for putting a 14-year-old in that position.
Yeah, I stuck him in radio.
And look what you did to him.
It ain't good. Hello.
Hey, Lang, why don't you shut up?
Fighting back.
Boom.
That was good. I like that.
That was a big old boom.
But I wonder if Tommy even heard it. Hey, yesterday was Robert Plant's 76th birthday.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
At 75.
Okay, so Robert Plant's older than you are.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel young?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel real young.
And
I got to have a knee operation.
And he's touring with Allison Krauss, and you're on the air with us.
Yeah.
They
Congratulations.
are touring right now, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I love her.
Yeah, she's good. I've got two of his albums with Allison Krauss. They're really good.
Yeah. No, she is just excellent. She really is.
I saw somehow it was on Twitter. Remember when they honored them at the?
You know what's neat about Plant? Not bitter.
No, he's not. 2012. Remember when they honored him at the Kennedy Center? The next night they were on Letterman, the three of them, and Dave's like, I sat next to you at the event last night, and I got you on my show. Can we just kind of just say that I'm part of this band now? And they all looked at him and were like, no. It was pretty funny. It was Letterman's interview with them was great, and they were good because John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page, and Plant, they're all so different personalities. But it was Dave it was a fun interview.
But none of them are.
No, I know Jimmy Page is supposedly into black magic, and you push the album backwards, and the devil. I mean, Jimmy Page seems like a pretty nice guy in his old age. He's not Roger Waters. He's not yelling at. Those Led Zeppelin guys seem like they're nice guys.
What I like about them is they live with it. They don't discard it.
No.
A lot of musicians get,
they're Led Zeppelin. That's why they're famous.
Or Judy Taylor Norton or whatever her name is. They don't want to talk about the past. No, those guys are really nice guys.
They really are.
They really are. Hello.
Hey, Engineer Tim. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Engineer Tim. Shut up. I'll kick your ass.
It's getting ugly.
It is getting ugly.
Boys.
But I'm just happy to see Robert Plant still out touring and stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
He's 16 years older than me. It kind of gives me that shot of youthful exuberance.
It's such an unlikely pairing to me.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yep.
It works really well.
Well, just like David Gilmour basically launched the career of Kate Bush. I mean, without David Gilmour, Kate Bush probably doesn't become who she was.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, great.
Oh, you don't like Kate Bush, do you?
No, not
See,
really.
I mean, I love it. I don't know a lot about her, but I like Running Up the Hill. I love that song. Yeah. I just love that song.
I realize I'm in a minority there, but I do not like that song.
Yeah, I for some reason,
It's
I just
annoying.
love that song. I don't know what it is.
You don't like Bush?
It grates against me. And Bush is okay.
That should wrap
And
up.
with that.
Oh, wow, it is 10:40.
Yeah.
Again, thanks again to Iowa Sports Information for letting us have Noah Kent on. Really enjoyed it. I'm assuming our
Me too.
listeners really enjoyed it. Good luck to Noah. Like I said, I'll be following Iowa golf. I mean, I'm like when they do their first match. I mean, you're going to look right and see what Noah did. He's created a level of expectation now, and he seems okay with it. He seems like he's going to be able to handle the mental side of it.
Well, time will tell.
And golf's a very humbling sport. Even the greatest
boy,
golfers
is
in the
it.
world have days where they don't have it, and he knows that.
Ain't
But
that
again,
the
thanks,
truth?
Noah. Really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit. And remember, no show on Friday because you guys. What's the name of this auction? Summer Spectacular.
Kickoff. No, fall kickoff.
Fall
auction.
kickoff auction. All right.
All right. Police reports are next. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJJ Weather.